This is Remote Daily, your daily dose of inspiration.
Welcome everyone to a Friday like no other. It's pretty serious today, but we have also one of the funniest guests in the room possible. Please give a warm welcome to Kosha Dillz.
It's good to be here. So this is exciting. You're on Zoom, LinkedIn, you're in everything.
You just ran a marathon and you were posting from the marathon. I still like I envy you for being athletically able to do this, but you were live posting on social media. How can you be on Instagram while running a marathon?
I think everyone was really like watching and surprised. This is my fourth marathon, so I do it. It's nice, and everyone kind of rallies behind you. I wish they rallied behind me for everything, but the marathon, everyone rallies behind you. It's fun,
And you raised thousands of dollars for Holocaust survivors. Kudos to that. You are out there all the time. I had the chance to witness you for a day just recently, and I've never seen someone being so communicative. You're able to multitask. You are on about 100 WhatsApp channels, simultaneously sending audio messages to people. You are inviting people to collaborate 24/7. You are producing new songs. You're just a magician. And I wonder sometimes, do you ever like take time to meditate, to calm down, to just take a moment for yourself? Do you ever do that?
Yeah, I mean, usually when I wake up, I would say the first thing, as long as I don't grab my phone, which I was unsuccessful at today, but like I already went to the gym and it's a big meditative moment. Running is a big time for me to meditate, sort of just to zone out. A cool thing that I did this marathon is that I ran the marathon with no music. So a lot of people are like, how do you run without music? And when you have a bunch of people screaming for you and the people of New York City are so loud that you couldn't even hear the music. So that was why. But I that's never happened to me in many other situations. I wouldn't be able to do that.
Wow.
I didn't think it was possible. But ideally, I'm very bad at meditation. Someone told me if you can meditate 5 minutes a day, it's better than 0 minutes. And, when I stop talking, I hear all these other voices in my head, But they said not to say that publicly. So,
Too late.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
Let's start with your name, because last time I saw you bought your socks. They're very comfy. They have actual dills on them. It says Kosha Dillz. And wherever I go with these socks, I get into trouble because people are like, why are you, why do you have socks with dills on them? Artist names always carry a lot of significance. So please help us. How did Kosha Dillz actually come to life?
Well, it was a euphemism, that was the first thing, because I had it when I was 17. And then I changed it because people made fun of it. So I changed it to KD Flow, and there was really no Jewish thing attached to it. And then when I went through just like a really rough period in my life, I was in and out of jail from addiction, and I changed it. So I went from Kosha Dillz to KD Flow to Kosha Dillz. And so in 2005, I really sort of bridged the gap between, it was supposed to be like a kind of tough guy, Jewish, gangster, character that was inspired by like the guy in Goodfellas, or, Ray Liotta was like a big influence, or a group called Nonfiction. And just, that were just tougher. I feel like that was something I liked to embody at the time. And so it was like multiple meanings, it was business and hustling, and it was sexual references. And I said, okay, that's good for rap, and no one's going to have this name. So
to this day, no one has tried to take it. But you have a beautiful birth name as well. How do you actually pronounce it correctly so that you feel comfortable?
Rami Matan Evanesh.
Rami Matan Evanesh. Is there a meaning behind that name?
Yeah, Rami is Ram is like great in things, like very high. It's a high exalted, I think, is the exact definition. Matan or matana. Matan is gift in Hebrew, and Evan is stone, and Aish is fire. So The high exalted gift from fire and stone.
Wow.
Is the you could address me as that as well.
The highest, the greatest gift from Stone and Fire. That's what I'm going to call you from now on.
Yes.
I feel that's more appropriate.
It's amazing. As I should
What
be addressed, yes.
what did you? I see you right now, and I know that it's you're an artist and you're always up late, and I see you yawning, and I have to ask, where were
Yeah,
you last
I'm
night?
so sorry. Gosh. I went to a jazz club called Ornithology. It's in Bushwick. It's a free jazz club in Brooklyn, and rode my bike there. And I, at some point, I don't know, I had holes in my pocket, so I lost the lock, the key to my bike lock, and I rode my bike there, so I couldn't leave. And then I found the keys eventually, so I stayed out at least an hour after I was supposed to, and it was already late. So you got
You
me.
have been around this beautiful city forever. Since I came here 10 years ago, I have seen you. You know more of New York than most. What do you connect with hip hop in New York? I'm asking because as a music journalist, I was trying to find hip hop in New York, and I had a hard time. I didn't find any sort of like, constant scene or party series or even like a new generation that was coming after of course, the people that started this whole movement back
Right.
in the day. So, what do you connect with New York and hip hop today?
Well, I would say that there is, I mean, obviously hip hop started here, but just for clarification, you might have met me maybe in New York, but I was living in LA for 2011 to 2019. I sort of left. I went from New Jersey to LA, and then I came here during the pandemic, but I became sort of a character on various Instagram pages and making street art. Now, there was EO Dub, which is called End of the Week, which was a big open mic scene in the New York Poets Cafe, which still exists. And there's something called All That. And a lot of these guys that started out at, 19, 20 are now in their 40s, late 30s. People grow up, and essentially the underground rap scene is far and few between as a scene. But now there's a huge new gap bridged with hip hop and comedy, and now drill music and just non-organic rap that you're speaking about, like Tribe Called Quest, this, etc. Now, Fat Joe just did a book release, and Slick Rick and Dougie Fresh were there at the Apollo Theater. They still do amateur night at the Apollo. I mean, these are, you'll still see a lot of old school vibes, and whenever I rap in the street of New York, I'm always on like classic hip hop beats, because if you look at, the people that came out of here, KRS-One, Duck Down Records, Buckshot, Black Moon, this is kind of the beats that are the beat of the city, like that beat plus the new stuff, like Ice Spice from the Bronx, or, Pop Smoke, rest in peace, like that new wave. And then there's this in between. So if you fall in that in between, you could really sort of understand New York,
How would you describe your own style of rapping today?
I feel like it's a combination of old school energy, new school hustle, in combination with like meme culture. I think, like I call it user friendly. It's something you'll be like, oh, I know that, or I like that, and I really zone in. Like the other day, I made a love song that was just, and then I made a song about being bald, like just like all like bald antics, because I did Bald Festival, and I'm like, this is something that could definitely go viral, and I think that's a new art in itself, because it just enables you to tell your story. Whereas if you refer back to the olden era with I would say the olden era, the golden era of record deals and needing money to help put your stuff out. Now you could become popular with just an iPhone, even a Droid. You need an iPhone. You could do that, and that's the thing. It's like that could be the ticket for you, and I think, being in limbo of all those scenes is a really nice thing to balance.
I have a little clip that I made in July of you just being out there on the street, and it just shows how you connect with people. So we'll have a look, and be mindful that the sound is not regulated here. So you might want to tune down your sound a little bit on your headphones right now.
Movies, homie with the cool feet, ooh, we ready just to cruise beats, yes, y'all put the word up on it, my homegirl pulling up with a kid and a marker on it, yeah, Dill, put the jerseys on the fear, other ones be like, yo, you biting vibes of a Shakespeare, I got a lot of pan, I'm hotter than the water with an Aquaman, and Dillz, I got a proper plan, I gotta get a wingspan cruise, homeboy, I do that, pretty lady there in the black with a turquoise do-rag, where I cruise that, feeling hype, yeah, matzo pizza, homegirl on city vibe, yeah, I'm a living life, yeah, with the best fresh, why you a baby walk around with the legs spread, I don't ever understand, I gotta...
So what you're doing here is everybody that is around you, you have a line for. How do you do that?
That's great. I'm like, I need this video. It's so good. So, I look at everyone, I'm like, okay, girl with long hair, Muslim guy with kufi, excuse me, truthfully, two-piece, and guy in an orange shirt, girl in the black, okay, something to rhyme with that. Yeso on it, fresh girl with her face got freckles on it, okay, like very like specific yet non-specific rhymes that just phonetically, am I using that properly? Phonetic, like the way it sounds? Is that, I don't know if I'm using that word correctly, but that's what I mean.
And you're also a language wanderer. I have another clip here that's more produced, that's on Instagram, just from a few days ago, because you speak English, Hebrew, and Spanish. At least those are the three ones that I know you perform in. And we have a Hebrew rap from you right here.
Oh, I love this.
לפתוח הדלת, אני לא שנער כשאני מדבר, לוחץ אמסשן על הפנים, כל החברים, מתי שאני רוקד באחור עלי. עכשיו אני צריך להחליף, אבל חושבתי לעצמי, טרייסי דסה וקושה בהביץ, every bar חם בשר דסה ביף, ברחובות וחולמו שלי.
So, recorded in Israel, filmed in Paris, 4 languages in one song from a meeting at 12 a.m. at a pizzeria in Brooklyn. Nice story. Why is it so important for you to center your identity in this way as, the Jewish American, the Hebrew American rapper?
Yeah, I like to say Israeli American because I'm Israeli. But because I think the Jewish American thing would be, their parents weren't, everyone in my family is Israeli, so I'm an Israeli citizen. So for me, I'm very, very, very connected to that. Just like our singer is connected to Argentina. Argentina, he sees a flag, just the international love, to our country, and just that's what we think of when we were children, etc. And she was like, "Oh, she's the girl Tracy. I met her at a pizzeria in Brooklyn at a show. Our boy Nems, and there was another Indian DJ there, and he does all any big celebration in Indian culture in New York City. He's the DJ that's doing it, but he's also in pop culture, representing for his community." So we're sort of on the same wavelength. She lives in Paris. She speaks English. She raps in Spanish. She raps in French. She gets, and people in other countries just speak at least 2 languages. You speak German, English, maybe you speak something else. So in America, I don't know, it's just like a leg up if you speak other languages. For me, I'm like, I know my community loves it. People just love the sound of Hebrew. I'm like, this is great. As you can see, did pretty well on my page, and people don't even know exactly what I'm saying because it's not transcribed. So it just sounds cool, and it's nice. So
you have toured with as you said, you came back in the pandemic. You've toured with many big name artists after beginning on the street, as we just saw, and you then got on Wild and Out. So I'll show this clip here that you just shared as well, because this is another territory you got yourself in. And before we talked about the topic of today's session, of course, that you just made international news, what does being on Wild and Out mean for you?
Wild Out's great because one, pardon me, I have some stuff in my eyes. I mean, it's, being the Jewish guy on Wild and Out, it's fun because I'm different. And it's also a black television show. It's black owned, and there's not that many shows like that are just literally diverse. And it's a huge platform for many, African American artists in the US. And big artists from all around the world want to be on. Like I just did a show there with Fireboy DML, who sold out Wembley Stadium. I think or he did like 12,000 or 12,500 seats in London. I'm not sure if it's Wembley. I think Wembley's way bigger, but it's inspiring for young Jewish kids. It shows unity. It shows, it's a healthy way to express, bereavements. I don't know. There's so many different things. Like on a comedy level, it's just amazing that I'm up there with some of the best in the world. And those guys are really the best at what they do. The guy Brent, the other white dude there, Conceited, Hitman. I mean, those are the best. That guy right there, Charlie Clips. Those are the best battle rappers in the world. I mean,
Let's have a listen.
You and me, my old bars will ruin your entire community. Like, don't ever disrespect me. And after I body you on stage, I'll get my uncle to disrespect me. This is nice microphone. I don't have to rap for y'all. The guy from Love and Basketball that can't even play basketball. Oh, yo, DJ D-Rex, circumcised.
Let me do it. All right, this is a rap battle. What you need all that fake metal for? I got a 38, a 45, a 264. That one wasn't a gun. That's his credit score.
You're right. Maybe I should start snapping the lead. And I ain't talking about that yarmulke when I put another cap on your head.
Man, white boys, if y'all don't skedaddle, y'all got a better chance of dancing on beat than beating one of us in a battle.
That's exactly true. So now after this, we're not gonna go to war with you. And it's ironic you look just like Mr. Clean, because we just mopped the floor with you.
Stand up to me. You look seated when God made you.
So obviously, this is a tough crowd.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's television, and those guys are when they put you up first and they go second, and it's television. So I mean, you're trying to just do the best you can, and I mean that was great. That was like one of my biggest things my first season, and it was also for the show. It's like, hey, we all win. I mean, obviously you want to get your stuff off, but I also have no problem making fun of myself. So that's why we added some extra edits. Made myself look like Mr. Clean,
Mr. Proper. Yeah, I also want to say you have an incredible sense for timing, and you are political, and you're an outspoken citizen, and it, I guess, all led to a moment that just happened that brought us to today's session titled "Antisemitism is Whack," which is the byline, or was the byline on your Twitter.
Yeah.
Recently, Ye or Kanye West made multiple anti-Semitist attacks, has received sweeping backlash from so many brands, organizations, individuals that he was involved with and all around the world. Contracts of his being cut, and people started to basically openly speak out against him that were used to be his allies or his colleagues. Somebody has calculated this backlash as a loss of $1.5 billion of his net worth. And what you did, though, you just, you didn't retweet or chime in. You created, as you always do, you created a space for a moment, and you put your artistry into it. And I feel it's one of the strongest things I have seen you do. And I just want to share it before we talk about it. So, just for everybody who is seeing this DEFCON 3 called Kanye West diss track for the very first time, what should we pay attention to?
The song, I'd say you can pay attention to a lot of the specifics. I was wearing like very religious head wrap called tefillin, which some people thought was a GoPro, which is really so funny. And I mean, just pay attention to it. I mean, the words are on the bottom of the screen for you guys to follow along.
Here we go.
Yeah. It's for y'all. Listen up. Antisemitism bars, New York City, 6 races for every point up in my star. First name, Rami Pickle out the jar. This is death concrete, guarantee you won't go far. Yeah, what Benjamin screw the media bank, I own none of that. Silent friends try to play ball, I can see you never wanna run it back, bro, I'm focused. Jesus walked the Sunday service, you in denial like Moses. Please disguise your races, cause your ex is fucking funny news by fireplaces and your spineless basic. I used to be a pussy like you, then I stopped complaining. Drink champs, don't let him say shit. Rap the fuck with you, a worker style. Burn a pair of Yeezy, see the shoes a burger now. I understand you need money for pics and views. You're a blind billionaire and I see the bitch in you. This for all the right wingers, leftists who do absolutely nothing and pretend they make moves. For yay lovers, ill hands and Candace 0-2. You can all get this, man, I'm owing y'all the truth. This for every right wingers, leftists who do absolutely nothing and pretend they make moves. For yay lovers, ill hands and Candace 0-2. You can all get this, I can't tell who is who. Not a manager, bro, my boss is black. I got a sick cannon for every asshole talking back. 2024 is yours, take it off the map. The shit you said about George is completely capped, bruh. Own land versus homeland, we all struggling. Only rep the people, I don't mess with governments. Jewish, but I'm faking, skin color mistaken. Head rabbi from the synagogue of Satan. Out in Times Square, peaceful, assalamu alaikum. We so diverse, many colors, no mask, no Jason, not emo. But I need a lot of blessings. Think you got hate, bro? You should see the comment section. Call me fake Hebrew, blame for living life. Rabbi Heschel, MLK, March 54 for civil rights. Don't wing it, Hana Kanye attacks happen actually. Yay and nay, I'm a naysayer and a Maccabee. The flamethrower is a weapon they use to separate us like uneducated fools. I speak for myself.
So first of all, kudos to having created this in a moment. This is a real production. This is several locations. This is writing. This is producing, and you did it all basically overnight. There is a lot in there. There are a lot of strong words in there. But I'm going to ask you first, what kind of reactions did you actually get?
Well, just to go back on things that people could have paid attention to if you watched the video. One, if you watch it, like it and subscribe and comment. Yeah, share. I always tell people that because,
Subscribed.
They forget. There you go. Yeah, give it a like. And all those things really help. That's honestly what's interesting is there's a couple things in there. It says, you think you got, hey, bro, you should see the comment section. I took actual comments I got, put them in there in the song. And then you actually look at the comment section there. And it's a lot of negative, a lot of hating, a lot of racism, anti-Semitic. It's all there. And, I wouldn't say it was a political move because I know you said I'm political. I don't think I'm political. I just exist as an Israeli-American Jewish guy that's just not afraid to sway from the topic when it comes up. Because I think when people actually zero in on me for being who I am without the music, that's when people actually, me just existing is political then, which is really unfair to think about it. And I think it's unfair in general for any artist that is, especially in the Middle East, Israeli or Palestinian, et cetera, and Black in America, just talking about topics, because other people don't have to essentially talk about those things. Or they have to exist. We live those things every day. So I, on a creative level, like I shot at the Brooklyn Museum where it says "Oi" because I thought "Oi" is like a subtle reference for like "Oi, this is happening." You know what I mean? And the other side is "Yo, yo," and then "Oi," and that to me was like clever. It was on an artistic level. There's also the comment section line. The two break dancers that were in the video were Tick and Tack. They're in a lot of Nico's videos, but they were also in the 99 Problems, video with Jay-Z. And we were watching that on the way to Bing, and I'm like, oh my God, I got to call them up. So they were a late addition, and they really helped, boost the video up by just dancing in the video. And the Jewish people that we pictured, all the Jews in the video aren't white Jews. I have white skin, but that was a line in there that says, out in Times Square, peaceful, assalamu alaikum. We so diverse, many masks, no many colors, no mask, no Jason. So referring to Jason from Friday the 13th, you know what you don't know what he is. You know, you just know it's Jason. And that I think is, you know, a big talking point in the anti-Semitic rhetoric that sort of stemmed from the Kanye world. So, you know, there's only one kind of Jews and they're fake, or et cetera. So, you know, but there's many different kinds of people, you know, they come in all different shapes, colors, and creeds. So I wanted to respond creatively because I have the ability to, you know, I have the ability to say, you know what, I feel like dropping a couple $1,000 on a video and just put it out and see what happens, you know? So take it, and also being a wild and out, you know, instead of
You are dissing in the video, but you also have lines of hope. I'm just gonna post here some here in the chat. Politicians only help themselves. It's the truth. People stick together. I won't give up on you. I still believe in peace. I won't give up on you. Who's the you here? Who's the you that you are addressing actually? While you are now taking place on what I would consider almost your throne. But it's a couch you found in the street, right?
Well, the person that's coming to fix my stove and oven, ideally, is here. So if you hear in the background, I'm cooking dinner for 15 people tonight, and the stove stopped working. The you actually, well, it's sort of like in a personal relationship, but also it's like ambiguous, you know, because it's talking about anyone who's listening to the video. Really, it's like if you're listening and you're doubting it, you know. I mean, we have differences, and obviously talking to Kanye too, you know. I mean, that's you.
Did he react?
I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of people that, you know him and that saw the video. So, but he did not react publicly. You would be the first to know. You know what I'm saying? And I think, you know, he'll see it. But you know, I've gone to Kanye concerts and Sunday service. So for me, I was like, ugh. And he had pictures with, you know, my boss, and that was a big line in the back. It was like, I'm not a manager. Kanye kept referring to managers. And I'm like, not a manager, bro. My boss is black. I got a sick cannon, like Nick Cannon, for every asshole talking back. 2024 is yours. Take it off the map. Because as you know, there was like rumors that he would run with Donald Trump. And I thought that was like a cool reference. And then obviously said stuff about George, that he died from asphyxiation or nothing, or that he didn't die and he died from fentanyl, and you know. So I thought for those things, I'm like, these are things I have to address, because the very unique thing about Kanye is that, you know, he was offending everybody. So people should be united that someone's saying something about him.
Well, it got you a lot of media attention. There was international press. There were radio stations, TV stations, newspapers all reach out to you. Hundreds of thousands of people have watched this on YouTube, but I guess millions now on other platforms. And there is statistics that speak to how relevant your work is. Liz and Britt and I, preparing for the session, we dug up this one number from ABC on anti-Semitic incidents in the U.S. Being at an all-time high, up 34% from 2020 to 21. So this is thousands of incidents happening last year, and then you have it in the dialogue in entertainment. So Dave Chappelle, SNL, poking fun at this rise in anti-Semitism in a monologue. There is so much going on in this conversation. As somebody who can't throw a few $1,000 to create a video, as you just said, what you did, like how do you recommend for people that are listening right now or that are watching to react and to keep the conversation going and to fight this?
Well, I mean, everyone has the ability to turn on their phone. You know, I did a video that's just rapping about certain things, and you know, to get 100,000 on your Instagram reels and be a 45-second video. I mean, you have YouTube. I mean, there's all these, you know, things that you could create, and you could edit it right on your phone. If you don't have the money to create a video like that, that's fine. But you know, sometimes a voice is more powerful. And I mean, there was someone, Hannah Binder, I think I'm not sure how to pronounce her name. She said something about Dave Chappelle the other day, and it really went viral. And I didn't even know who she was, but I was like, yo, you really, some people write letters and they post them, and certain things resonate. And if people want to keep a conversation going, there's plenty of people that want to keep this conversation going, especially if you're not Jewish and very interested in it. I think that's, a lot of times we're like creating for an echo chamber, and I didn't want to be part of an echo chamber when I have the ability to not be part of it. So for me, that's like super important. If I could do that, that's why I'm at where I'm at with my career, because I'm willing to invest and take, a chance on myself because I deserve it. So like I could say that I deserve to make this song. I'd rather never have to make a song like that. But I think when it's someone that you always wanted to work with, like I always wanted to work with Kanye. And, I know people that worked with him. I met with people that were working with him. I recorded at a studio that he's, that people did Dawned at, like I'm connected. Just, I'm not connected, but I'm, a step or two away, really. And I think that's the next hope. I mean, I thought this was a better move than saying not doing anything and hoping to just be in contact with somebody, and also it made a lot of people happy. I got a lot of negative comments, but I got a lot of positive ones too. And a lot of people reached out and are very interested in it and they appreciate it. Mm-hmm. And the people that reached out to me that really judge rap, like people that I know that love rap music and love hip hop, they reached out to me, and I know they're very hard to impress. And that means a lot that they reached out. So once I got those were the ones that I was like, all right, I did the right thing.
You also do something that I guess everyone can do, which is you support Holocaust survivors. We mentioned you running the marathon in the beginning, raising money for a charity that provides financial assistance to Holocaust survivors called Blue Card. I'm going to post the link here in the chat. We're about the end at the end of the show, but I just wanted to ask you, when you talk to Holocaust survivors, you engage with them a lot. I remember in the pandemic, you were the first person to bring a Holocaust survivor to Clubhouse. It was a huge moment for this weird app that popped up in the pandemic into people's living rooms and spaces under lockdown, and you turned it again into a meaningful moment. What are you actually taking away from spending time with these folks which you do regularly, frequently?
I think everyone says like they care about stuff and they care about history, but how would you let this happen? You're letting people of this, who would you let that happen to that was going through that? So they'll speak at an event and that'll be the day you celebrate. But what about the other 363 days, 64 days of the year, outside of Holocaust Remembrance Day, when they're alone? So I said, this is like something to do. We have to continue to bring light to stuff. And I thought also, many people were very judgmental of like, oh, maybe he just did this song for clout. I'm like, no, I'm pretty active in trying to bridge communities together, Holocaust survivors, hip hop community. I loved, like, once we started doing that, I'm like, that's fun. To me, that's really fun to bridge the world together. I really, especially like communities, because, I have half my show looks like this and the other half show looks like that, but they don't seem to hang out in the same building, So for me, I have to create the space for that. So this is a great way to do it.
If we want to support you and to support the things that you do, what is the best way to do that?
I'd say, there's a couple minimum ways. You could always like a post, comment on it, share it, say, hey, I came from Remote Daily. You could always buy some merch. You could sign up for Patreon. But I think the merchandise is really the best because you can't download a t-shirt and then you get to talk about it, get yourself a new shirt or a hat. And that stuff's fun. I really think that stuff is like, we're really getting to it when we're doing that. When you're wearing a t-shirt, that's fun. So I tell people, I ask people a lot, I said, you're going to go out for Black Friday, you're going to buy all this stuff from a major corporation, but support artists in general, because we're out here, making stuff. And, like, that's,
and you're so humble.
Thing if you ever come
Yes.
up with an idea or you know somebody who's a writer, I mean, a big way this video travels because I was asking people like, hey, do you know anyone? You know what I mean? And I asked you one time, like, hey, do you know anyone? I'm going to Germany do you know anyone? And got in touch with people and did interviews. And next thing you know, you have a big interview and people are booking you for something else. And I think that's the pathway in life, to do stuff that makes sense and this resonates with you, get a t-shirt, maybe for a friend. And that person says, oh my God, I love this guy. So you'll help somebody else too.
And you're talking about this so calmly, but I have seen how you actually collaborate. You send asks about collaboration out almost every minute. What do you estimate? How many messages do you send out on a given day?
Mentally, I send many, but 20, 30. I heard a guy said, make 20 calls a day, which I never do, but that's like 20 calls a day is great. Just just get in the habit of calling people, and then I hire people that send out the emails asking to do my programs and stuff and freestyle rap classes, etc. But it's about quality of messages. Don't just send a blind thing. Like send it. There's other people at the receiving end of the internet, whether it's an email or a reading. Everyone's having a day, and if they don't get back to you, don't worry. I heard one guy in the street stole CDs, and he says, "Let's get the no's out the way. Let's get the no's out the way. Just get all the no's out early in the morning. The end of the day is always gonna be good."
And you're so humble about this, but I have seen you up close, and you fire your messages. You help people left and right all the time. Of course, Blue Card, but also American Jewish Committee, Anti-Defamation League, just the organizations that do this every day. You are your own. It's not a one-man. You have a team organization that is helping, that is putting stuff out, that is not being quiet. That is collaborating and creating spaces for so many people every day. And I have two more asks for you, Kosha, before the end of the show. First of all,
I'm also in another organization I work with called valueculture.org, and they do a lot of gap bridging events. They were the one who helped me do the Survivor on Clubhouse and also do a lot of Black Jewish collaboration, which is important. I think it's valueculture.org.
Valueculture.org. Thank you for recommending that. Any other things that come to mind that you want to recommend? Any other resources?
That was them. Them and Blue Card, I think, are the most, because they're very small organizations. Value Culture is smallest. Obviously, I'm on the board there, so and they're doing a fundraising this week, so they do a lot of
fantastic.
Yeah.
Eleno and Dario, our artists, were actually secretly hoping you would freestyle with them for the end of the show. I know you are still recovering from last night, but would you up for a spontaneous cross-Zoom collaboration?
I would love it. I hope it works.
Let's do it. So here's Eleno and Dario, and here's Kosha. And before we end today's show, we're going to do this. We have done this before. The latencies won't stop us. So
let's do it.
Let's do it.
And since we haven't done a sound check for this, and Kosha, you don't have headphones on, I was thinking what we could do maybe is like do a call and response kind of thing.
Okay.
If the simultaneous doesn't work. So like we could start or you could start and then we mute ourselves and then, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah, you guys start. That'll be fun.
All right, Dari, let's do it.
Do?
It's entirely improvised, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. It's just a call and response. Here we are today in this moment. Let's see what happens. The stove when you want, 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 when you want.
I'm just live on the Zoom. It's cool. Maybe people, they come through. Someone said they late to me, even if I get with my latency. Yes, had to go on mute. Dillz on the mic, man, I tell the truth. Sitting on my couch, man, I tell the crew, just fix my oven now. People come through for dinner. I'm going to see you on December 15th. And really just call for the winner. I'm going to feel the rap with my homie, really like my Argentinian flag on the wall. Dillz on the microphone, 15 people in them rapping for y'all. Like, yes, it's the truth. Fresh with the broom. Right now for the other 12 in the room.
What's for dinner? 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 15 people now, 15 people later. Will there be three unexpected guests? Cause it's November 18th. 18, 15, 18, 15, 18, 15. What's for dinner? What's for dinner? What's for dinner?
I got schnitzel in the bread, cutlet. Dillz on the mic, man. I hope you rush quick. Oh, you got it hard to handle. Got a fresh thing of wine and some candles. Hi. I'ma keep it raw. Right after this, I'ma have to clean my floor. Hey. And I'm thinking my R&B. I hope you bring dessert and a couple of coffees. Plus, I know the outcome. I got a couple jalapeno cheese with my salmon. What it about, son? Real. It's an oven to work. I'm using the grill. Let's Kosha Dillz. Kosha Grills. People say, hey, I hope you paid your gas bill, but it's all right. I checked in. Yes, I did. Now I'll let you guys take it up and freshen. Let's see.
Just realized it's Shabbat. Are you having a Shabbat dinner at your house? Shabbat dinner, this is totally improvised. Maybe after we'll be the wiser. Higher guider.
Let's give it up for Kosha Dillz, Elena Dubinsky, and Dario Acosta Tai. Thank you so very much. This is from all of us. This is the virtual glitter coming down from all around the world, from the remote daily community, from Sarah Rashad, Pamela, John, Errol, Eileen, Alex, John, Jolie, Britt, and so many others that are watching today. Thank you so much for making the time for our amazing guests. And Kosha, this is for you. This is with you. And we just had Errol reaching out in the chat. Errol will, of course, get back to you. Our show is now coming to the end, but I will make sure that you and Kosha connect after this. Kosha, your final 30 seconds before we depart today.
Very grateful for Remote Daily for having me on the show, for helping me when I was out in Germany. And all the questions, please just, keep the conversation going. I could definitely respond on Instagram, but I'm happy I did it. A lot of people said, you should have said this and that. And when you respond sometimes in 24 hours and put something out so quickly, you miss things. But that's the unfortunate part about being an artist, not perfect. I don't have anyone really helping me completely along the way except myself this time. But I'm open to making new music that's similar of the vein of addressing society's problems. It's not my usual style, as you know. I'm rapping about people and a lot of freestyle improv and more comedy twist. But it is exciting for me to meet all you guys on just different wavelengths consistently. But the main message is to continue meeting. And that's the beautiful part about this and music and our creations. So
you're an amazing artist, and please come back. We love having you on the show, and to support you and to do what you do is standing up and being a member of society, and we applaud you to that. Thank you, Kosha. Thank you, Elena Dario, and thanks everybody who took the time today. Bye-bye.
This is Remote Daily.